All right, so this is part two of the video, and this is where I'm basically gonna go over what it takes, what you need to do to get to a place where you understand why you're doing what you're doing. That is the biggest thing in this space of personal development, is understanding the reason why you're doing it. Because if your why is not big enough, any small little setback is gonna push you 10 steps back. But that's what we're doing right now, and I'm just gonna kind of get straight into it. So we're gonna start with, how am I going to go from working odd jobs to buying a $400,000 Porsche at 20 years old? See, right now we're in the house, no Porsche, no penthouse, just progress. Right now is what I like to say, the stage I'm in. No Porsche, no penthouse, just progress right now. And see, we're here, right? This is about a year ago. I mean, it's still the things I do right now. I mean, I grew up in a family with people who did manual labor. Like my grandpa, he was a stonemason. My dad's an electrician. My mom's a massage therapist. Everybody works with their hands. And see, that's all I ever grew up around. But the things I was exposed to made me realize over the last 2.5 years of realization, and some stuff I'm gonna get into down here. But basically, there's a 3-step process, and I'm gonna get into it. This is the exact car I'm going to buy. Same color, same package, same wing. They have the colored wing on it. They have the black. I don't think these are the magnesium forged wheels. I'm gonna get the magnesium forged wheels, and I'm gonna get the carbon mirrors. I don't know if those are the carbon mirrors, but this is the exact car. A 2027 Porsche GT3 RS. I think it's called Macchiato Brown, the color. Glossy black magnesium forged wheels, front suspension, the whatever the package is called, GT3 RS, what is it called? This, I don't know how to pronounce this word. This is Wysack. This package. This is the race package. I want a race car. See how much they cost? They are not cheap. They are not cheap. And this is the car that I want to buy, and this is the car that I'm gonna buy in 2 years. Every time I close my eyes, I see myself driving this car with the paddles and the shit, everything, the race tex leather, the race texture leather everywhere, all in the car, the carbon fiber, the wheels, the engine, I literally have pictures of me. In front of Porsches that I see. Every time I see a Porsche, I take a picture, because it's a reminder every time I see a Porsche that somebody has done more with their life than me, and this is the process that I'm gonna get through, that I'm gonna go through, and that I have went through to get to the position I am now, and the systems that I set in place for myself then that are going to allow me to achieve this. See, this is just a monetary goal, right? This is just a simple monetary goal. But what this simple monetary goal is going to allow me to do is going to allow me to have the mindset and mentality of nothing can stop me. And I already have that mindset and mentality now. But imagine what that'll look like in those 2 years. In those 2 years, when I actually do buy this car. Because I'm going to buy this car. I literally have no doubt in my mind about if I'm going to get it or not. There's literally no doubt in my mind. And there is a 3-step process. See, step 1 is reflection. You have to reflect. You have to first understand yourself in personal development. You have to understand your cornerstone. You have to understand that moment, that defining moment, whenever you were like, okay, what the fuck is going on? This is the point where I'm going to change. Like simply, like this is it. This is that point. And understand how each turn in your story helped build your skill set in that story. How each turn of event, what the lesson it taught you, why it was important, what you did to come back from it. These are three. It's a 3-step process, and each step has 3 steps. If you do these 9 things, nothing is going to stop you, and you are going to have an impeccable personal brand, and you are going to have opportunities, so many opportunities that you have to pick and choose which opportunities that you take, which is a nice problem to have. Step 2, you have to direct this emotion, that emotion that you gain from going through these things and reflecting on the story, that hindsight view, that seeing the bigger picture. Once you see that bigger picture, you have to acquire a precise target. Who are you targeting? Who are you going to help, right? Because in this game, you cannot help yourself without helping other people. It's a fundamental truth of personal development. You cannot help other people. You cannot help yourself without helping other people. So you need to acquire a precise target of who you are going to help, because it's going to allow your growth to not sit there and wait on finding the right people, because you will know exactly that your target audience for your content and your growth. And you need to set input-based goals. See this car right here. This car right here is a monetary goal. See, you see the car, it's nice, it's fast, boom, 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 whatever. It's missing the smoked out headlights. This isn't the perfect car, but this is what I imagine in my mind, right? These are the things this is what I think about, right? On my journey at this stage. And see, right now, right, I need to set input-based goals. See, I have all of these goals that I write down every day. And some of them are input-based, right? I posted 100 pieces of content before August 17th. Input-based, right? I made $155,000 before tax before August 17th. That's input-based, right? Like, sure, there's a deeper level of input, but the money is the input into the goal, right? I know I have the process of what I'm going to do, and maybe I make another video about going over that process of what I'm going to do. I gained 10K followers, right? If I post this content, the other goal here of having 10,000 followers on Instagram before August 17th to share my message with, that's the exact correlation right there. I grew my business plan to a 9-figure business empire. That's $100 million for those of you that don't know how many zeros makes 9 figures, right? Built a 9-figure business empire through systems and delegation. See, the systems and the delegation is the input that is going to get me that desired outcome. Because you cannot say that you want a desired outcome without knowing the input and what it takes to get that, or else it's just a dream and a wish, right? It's not a goal. That's just a dream or a wish, right? Then you need product-focused momentum. If you are not creating products that help drive you, then you are destined to fail. See, there's a diminishing return curve, right, of people who are focused on the process itself and people who are focused on like the product aspect of it, right? When you focus on the value of the product that you're giving to people to help them, when you acquire this precise target and you have this input-based goal that is applied to these targets, right? And you craft a product. This is the delivery right here. You direct this reflection into a delivery and you disperse it. See, it just flows, right? You disperse it with good product quality, like here, right? Products focus momentum, right? You need to be basing your progress off of these input-based goals. And number one here is a good product quality. That's like obviously fundamental. You need a good product quality. But relationship and consumer at the top of your mind. Relationship and consumer, right? You need the people that you are helping to be your first priority, right? If you're a guy that's saying like how some of these fitness coaches or whatever these bullshit coaches in Miami living in a penthouse making however fucking much they make a month, doing like scamming, honestly. There's a lot of guys in this space that are not focused on the relationship and consumer. See, you shouldn't be trying to help people. You shouldn't be trying to help people by showing them what to do. You need to first build a relationship with that person. If you do not have a relationship with the person that you are helping personally develop, then there will be no goodwill or word of mouth to keep that actual momentum going. And that's why relationship is on the top of your mind when you're doing anything. See, I'm doing sales this summer. I'm selling solar panels door to door, right? Which is kind of how saying like odd jobs, kind of an odd job, right? Door to door sales isn't really like a career or something that I see myself doing forever. But that is why I'm building this now. And I'm creating relationships with the people that are watching this video, because they're seeing this video, they're saying, oh, damn, man, my dad did sales, or damn, I want that exact same car. It's something relatable. See, because my mind, y'all are on the top of my mind. See, I stayed up late, woke up late, failed to hit some of my goals for the day, to wake up on time. I woke up an hour late because I was building this course and this explanation of how I got here, because I can't tell you what to do. The only thing I can tell you is what I would do if I was you. See, a lot of people try to give advice to other people that they wouldn't give to themselves and they wouldn't take themselves, but I will never tell you something that you should do. All I can tell you is what I would do if I was you. And through the systems that have proven to myself to be effective, those are what I would apply. So that's what I tell you that you should do, because it has worked for me. I can't tell you what will work exactly for you, but I can tell you exactly what worked for me. And it's a proven process that has worked for people in the past. People DM me and tell me like, oh, I applied this system and it's made my life so much easier. See, just something simple as writing down, like getting a notebook like this and writing down the 5 things that I write down every day. The 5 things that I write down every day have allowed me to create this clarity. It's so simple. 5-step process. So simple. But first, we're going to get into the reflection. You need to understand yourself. And there's 3 aspects to that: story, key motive, and the skill sets that you need to build. So, start with struggles, right? I was a typical, your typical teenager, right? This is me vaping. I had an immense nicotine addiction, like crazy nicotine addiction. I was going out partying, doing that whatever frat shit, cool, whatever, and I was smoking weed. I didn't even like smoking. I just smoked because I had, in my mind, there was nothing better to do than to YOLO, live up life, right? This is me. This is not the same person, right? Who is this? Like, there is nothing in his eyes that screams, I'm gonna do something with my life. See, this is not the person. This is not the best version of myself. This is not the best version of myself. And even here, like, right? Like, lust. 5 deadly sins. Like, there was all of them. Like, honestly, right? Like, this is just a point in my life when I was going through the struggles, and each one of these moments have a special place in my story, because they have taught me lessons that most people will never realize are actually lessons. Because for something to be a lesson, you have to see it as a lesson. See, some people, they see a breakup as a heartbreak, right? Some people see a breakup as a lesson, and they learn from that, and they take it and move forward with knowledge. Those are the people that are going to be successful if they apply that, right? Then right here, right? I broke my leg. I feel like this was my key defining moment. It wasn't the most impactful, like physically or like emotionally, it wasn't. But my situation in life completely took a 180 turn from this moment on, and I'll explain it later when I get to the key moments. This was a key moment, and this person right here is the same person as this. This is this person. I was on morphine. I may not look like the same person. I was smiling. I didn't feel shit, but this is a different person, right? Like these 5 pictures here, that in chronological order, it probably goes this one, this one, this one, and this one. I don't know which order it goes in, but from here to here was about 2 years. From here to here was about 2 years. From here to here was about 2 years. And this is a recent picture, actually. I think this was me this week, actually, in the gym. And something just finally clicked. And we're going to talk about what it was. It was honestly probably me making this. But key moments, right? You need to make this exact chart, this exact board. I will walk you through the whole entire process if need be, because this thing right here has allowed me to have so much understanding of the why. And that is all you need. That is the only question you need. You need to know what, and you need to know why. Because if you know why, then the actions are there already. So there's no limiting beliefs, right? But key moments, right? Breaking my leg. This moment affected my life. See, you need to make a list of the key moments in your life that have allowed you to have the emotional, physical, whatever like qualities that you have right now. You need to make a list of moments, right? See, for me, breaking my leg was number 1 on the list, right? Breaking my leg. This moment affected my life. You need to write this exact thing down for every single moment. This moment affected my life because ... It removed me from the people I'd known the whole time and put me around people who don't play sports. Because I broke my leg in a football game, right? I wasn't doing anything like dumb shit, right? Like, I was trying to play my sport. I loved my sport. But it put me around people who don't play sports. Some of them got into MIT, Harvard, Stanford, and some of them are currently in jail for murder. This is a true story. Some of the people that I was around after I broke my leg and was around people who don't play sports, some of them were academics and didn't play sports, and some of them were what we call nowadays YNs, right? Who more than one of them are in jail for murder. I'm not gonna say names, but this is like, that doesn't even matter. But this is a key moment because it put me in a totally different environment, and it was so a polarizing environment, and I didn't know. Like, I was trying to play both sides. I didn't know who I was, and I came back from this by staying in the gym and devoting all of my extra time into learning new skills, watching Iman Godsi videos, and playing shit like chess. Right? I found my own path amidst this like stark polarization of things happening in my life. And I feel like it's a good analogy for what you have to do in life. There's going to be so much going around you. There's going to be so much going on around you, and you have to find your own path. And if you don't have systems set in place to find that path, you are doomed to failure. Because just like I said this a million times, told this story a million times. There was an old man in Starbucks. He told me, we had a conversation. I was just sitting there. He was an architect, old Chinese man, long beard, just like how you would imagine in a movie or something. He said, son, if you have no plan, that doesn't mean if you have no plan, that doesn't mean that you just don't know what you want to do. If you have no plan, you are pre-planned to fail. That is the default. Failure is the default. If you sit there and do nothing, you're a failure. Failure is the default, right? So that's the life lesson I learned from this, and this is the reflection I'm getting from it, and the key moment that this was the key moment. This is the reflection. Starting a consulting business that failed. This moment affected my life because it showed me that I am only qualified to be the man I want to be as I say I am. See, I had immense imposter syndrome. Like, I didn't realize that all of these books that I have over here and all of the knowledge that I gained during this phase of my life, learning new skills, like digital skills, editing, all of this stuff, business consulting. My brother, he did sales. He taught me that. My brother did all of this stuff, and he just dropped in a little knowledge, and I took the seed, ran with it, I was watching videos by Alex Hormozy, doing all of this stuff, reading so many books. Like, I probably honestly read like 20 books that year. In 2023, 2024, no, 2023, I think I read like 20 books. 2023, I read like 20 books. And it made me so qualified, but I had the imposter syndrome of my age being the limiting factor in my mind. And I feel like the main thing that I want to touch on is that you should not have limiting factors. Like, everybody who ever had immense success didn't have limiting factors. Like, there wasn't something in the back of their mind telling them that, oh, they can't achieve what they want to do, they can't do this. Because if they had the limiting factors and there's something in the back of their mind telling them they can't do it, then subconsciously they're going to know they can't do it. And when shit gets hard, they're going to go, oh, well, this whole time, I mean, I really knew I couldn't do it. I really knew it wasn't possible, but I was going to try anyway. See, but somebody that doesn't have a limiting factor, some bad shit happens, they're going to say, okay, I know I could do it. Let's get back at it, right? But starting solar sales. I'm starting this summer, and I went to Dallas for a little bit. I haven't started for real. But this moment affected me because it was my first real opportunity to make a life-changing amount of money in a short period of time. I am going to make $155,000 before August 17th. That is my goal. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Because that's what I've proven to myself over the last 2.5 years of all of the bullshit, trying atonement, re-atonement. I'm going to get more into that later. But I've been proving to myself for the last 2 months, right? It hasn't been that long, right? Of pure consistency. But I've been proving to myself that when I say I'm going to do something, I am going to do it. So when I say I'm going to make $155,000 before August 17th, which is almost $70,000 a month from when I'm starting, I'm going to do it. And I trust in myself to do it. Because nobody else that listens to my story will believe me if I don't even believe myself. And this lesson has taught me thus far that your dreams are only as far as you make them. And with repeated action and reflection, the systems will optimize themselves. This is a masterclass. Like, I would have paid $1,000 in the fourth grade. Nah, let me stop playing. Nah, but I would have paid like $500 for this whole thing to be built for me. Like, honestly, like, if I could just understand, like, it is like a done with you type of thing. But starting my first YouTube channel that flopped, this moment affected me because it was my first glimpse into content creation and other than Insta posts, and it allowed me to learn how to speak and generate an audience. Boom, it flopped. Learned the lesson, came back stronger. I came back from this by transferring to Insta as my main platform and using YouTube as an anchor, to anchor the message and build credibility. Doing that right now. The lesson I learned is that no matter what, as long as I keep posting long form and short form content, it is only a matter of time until my reality catches up with my mindset. Masterclass statement right there. Hearing people say that my advice changed their life. See, first, before I touch on that, I remember the first, I may add here another moment that I wasn't thinking about. I made this last night. Another moment was when this guy, right? Let me see. Bulleted list, right? Hearing a guy in the gym. See, this happened. See, I was in the gym and I was just about to leave, and there's this guy. His name is Zach. He owns a business, and I help him with this business every once in a while because I have a background of business consulting, so I know what it takes, right? And I was talking to him, and this moment affected me because it showed me that this is the new impression that I leave on people. During the times when I am following my systems. See, he sees me every day. He sees the guy that's in the gym every day. He sees the guy that's in the gym at 5 a.m. when everybody else is asleep. He sees the guy that is the business guy. He sees that guy. He never met. See, his name is Zach. Zach never met. See, Zach never met this guy. 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 Zach met this guy and this guy who wrote a letter to himself saying, I am 21 years old. I have a Porsche 911 with that race package that I was talking about, mocha coffee brown, with every single attachment and option on it. I retired my mom and invested in the dreams of my brother and my father. I still wake up every day at 4:25 and I go to the gym and learn something new every day. I'm 5'10 and I weigh 175 pounds with 8% body fat. I live in Sion, Switzerland with my wife and 0 kids, and I am looking for international property. I bench 315 pounds, squat 405 pounds, and deadlift 485 pounds. I ran an ultra marathon every year since I was 18 years old, and now I am 24 years old with the wisdom and mental fortitude of a 50-year-old combat veteran. I helped my father start his electrical business. Now he finally makes 6 figures a year. And my brother has started enrolling students into his private international hybrid learning center. See, these are the goals I have. See, the car is a car. The car is a car, and the car will always be a car. The car will always be a depreciating asset. The car is fast. The car gives you dopamine. The car gives you fun. But this is my why. And I have only formulated this why recently because of these things that have happened to me. And it only makes sense. It only makes sense that because of these things happened, because I realized that what these things did to me, I have become this person. And I can only speak for myself, but I'm giving you the blueprint. I'm giving you the blueprint for exactly what you need to do. See, the key motives, right? I'm talking about key motives right now. The car is a car. See, maybe you want the dinners. You want to go on a night out. The bottle girl service, right? Whatever they do. The clothes. You want to wear designer clothes. You want to have the watches. See, I want to watch too. I want this watch right here, right? It's a little blurry. I want this house right here. These are the things, right? Those are the things I want. I want the house. You saw the house. You saw the watch. The clothes come with that. Laura Priana, the slippers, whatever. The materialistic things. But those materialistic things are only going to last you so long. See, imagine the fulfillment of the goal that you have as a fuse, right? Something materialistic is a short fuse. It'll burn out fast. And that's why when you go through the atonement phase that I'm going to talk about soon, you're making up for your mistakes, right? That's a very short fuse. But when you put this entire why behind it, it creates a fuse that is unburnable. It creates a drive that is unstoppable. See, some people do it for the power, status, the fame, the followers, the women. They want the girls. They want the ability to change other people's circumstances. And to each their own. There's going to be a different reason why. Some people do it for the freedom. Go wherever, whenever. The ability to just book the next flight. Your flight gets canceled. You could just book the next one. The ability to just book the private jet. Just call the charter. Hey, I need to be here in 2 hours. Right? The ability to not be held back by money. The ability to say, I want to do this and I'm going to do this. See, that's why wealthy people and ultra wealthy people have such abundant lives, because they don't have the mental setback. They don't have the mental, the mental limiting factor of money, because money is this tool that we use to move the clock. See, wealthy people buy time with money. And poor people buy money with time. There's only two options, right? And if you want to not be held back by money, you need to be a person that buys time with money. And along with the freedom, travel, think, and explore on my own. See, this is one I put. This is definitely one for me, right? These are things I want to do. Some people do it for love. See, I wrote in here my goal position in life. I wrote wife and 0 kids, because at 24 I don't want kids. I want to have a massive empire before I have children, because this is what the people who have set the standard for generational wealth have done. You don't have kids when you're in your 20s. When you're in your early 20s, you live life, you gain experiences to be able to teach your kids. You have to have experiences to teach people. That's why I had these experiences. That's why I am qualified to teach you. That's why I'm qualified to teach these things, because I have self-qualified myself by doing so much dumb shit. I'm qualified by myself, and all of the dumb things that I've done, and all of the reflection that I have went through, and all of the character development that I've done, and all of the key moments that I've analyzed. These are the things, right? The family, the brotherhood. See, it's been a goal of mine to build. See, I write it down every day. I write my top 10 goals every day. And one of them is I built a brotherhood of like-minded, faith-driven, purpose-driven individuals like myself. That is one of the goals I had. That is one of my driving factors. This is one of the reasons why I do it. Spouse, I talked about that before. So once you understand the why, and you understand the story, and you put these things together and craft them into a product that will help other people, you link these two things, and you can easily explain why all of this happened, and the reason why, and what it did to you, and how it made you feel, and you understand why you want what you want, the goals that you want, and you understand why what you went through made you deserving of these things, and you understand the systems that are in process. See, then you build the skill sets, right? You need to master one or two, and you need to understand all of them. See, the first one is customer service. See, you need to be able to manage people and build clients. See, these aren't customers yet, or I would say that these are customers right now, but I'm free. I am free. Access to Jordan Parks, access to @jordan.ezell with 3 L's is free, because I understand that to make money, I have to help people. To make money, I have to help people. To make money, I have to help people. If I help this guy make $100,000, what's it to him to give me 10,000 to say thank you, right? So let's say I do that for a whole bunch of people, 10 people a month, right? I make them $100,000, they pay me 10. What's that to them? Now I'm making 100, they made 100. It's the volume, right? There's business aspects to it, but first, the customer service. You have to be able to serve your customer. Customer service. You have to be able to serve your customer. Whether they're paying or not, you need to have relationship and customer top of mind. That's why it's at the top of the list right here. Customer service. Serve your customer. And the cornerstone of all of these skill sets, customer service, communication, marketing, system, and sales, is communication, right? It's a cornerstone, right? You have to. There is no wealthy person on this round earth that has got there without knowing how to communicate effectively and efficiently. In these DMs, you don't see me typing like a degenerate, right? Maybe you see me relating, my G, I didn't even see your message. See, like, those are the things. See, encouragement, right? This right here, like, I'm talking with authority and like expertise. I'm communicating effectively and efficiently. Then the next part of this, almost it's sort of almost hitting this disbursement phase, right? These skills help you disperse, but you have to reflect on them first to get there, right? Is marketing, right? I post all of these videos, and I'm not hitting the 10,000 view mark, the 100,000 view mark, the 400,000 view mark, like a lot of guys are. But think about how many people 1,000 is. Think about how many people 2,000 is. Think about how many people 2,400 is. At my high school, there is about around 3,000 people. There's around this many people in my high school. Imagine everyone in my high school filled a stadium, and I'm doing this stuff in front of all of them. That is what I imagine when I see this many people view my stuff. Even if there was one person viewing my stuff consistently every day, I'm still showing somebody a different lifestyle that they know that they could achieve, because I hold myself to that standard, right? That's the marketing. Being relatable, setting goals for myself, making promises to myself, to other people. I promise myself that I'm going to buy. It's right here. This was over a month ago, and I'm still talking about the same thing. This is the same car. I saw the same car, different color, different wheels, right? I made a promise to myself and 1,164 people that I'm going to get this car before the age of 21, which is exactly what I said I'm going to do here. It's the same process. It's the same process. How am I going to go from working odd jobs to buying a $400,000 Porsche at 20 years old? It's right here. It is the same. This is the same content. I'm making the same content, just different forms, right? Boom, in the gym, showing the process of how I'm doing it. I showed my whole workout. I go to the sauna, all right? There's no secret to what I'm doing. It's all out there for free, right? Ran a half marathon with the boys, right? This is my sales team. These are guys that are going to help me get better this summer with my mindset. The systems. See, the systems are here. DM me momentum if you want me to remove this thing and explain to you for free. Actually, by the way, I will explain for free. You just need to show me that you really want to see it. DM me momentum at Jordan Ezell. Jordan.Ezell. It's linked in the bio of this video. It's linked in the description of this video. It's linked in the bio of my YouTube channel. DM me momentum if you want me to remove this and just explain it to you. I'm not charging anything. This is not a course. This is a course, but it's not a paid course. It's a free course. This is me explaining how I got here and the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that I do every day that got me here. It's a very simple process, and clearly it works, because I have created so much structure and organization in my life with these systems that will be digitalized very soon. These will be digitalized and maybe not monetized, but they will be digitalized and optimized very soon. But this is the Momentum Masterclass. This is the Momentum Masterclass. This is how you create momentum, by doing these 5 things every day. There's a method. If you do it the right way, if you implement these 5 things the right way, with the right mindset, like John Mark Stevenson says, the 4 pillars of man, right? Habits, mindset, nutrition, and training. This is all it right here. This is all it right here. In a written form that's trackable. In this notebook right here. This notebook right here has this is it. This notebook has made me millions of dollars. I just haven't seen the money yet. And sales. I have no sales yet because I'm doing it for free. It's free. It's free. 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 There's no such thing as sales when something is free. You can't sell something if it's free. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. Sales equals free. I'm doing nothing for money. There's nothing that I want other than to help other people at this stage. The money will come when I help other people. The money will come when I help other people. The money will come when I help other people. I'm doing it for free. I have set up the systems. I will show it to you free. DM me momentum. I will show you the systems for free. I will show you how I gained 1,500 followers. 1,500 followers. I'll explain the communication skills. I'll explain the customer service, what to say, how to say it. I'll explain how you can master these 2, right? See, I'm already mastering sales. The 2 that I want to master, I'm going to master sales and marketing. I've already mastered systems, or not, maybe not mastered. I can't say I'm mastered, but sales and systems are my strong point, right? Sales and communication system. See, like, I have a very strong understanding of all of these. But if I had to pick, I would say right now, systems and communication are my strong points. After this summer, sales may be, right? I'm doing summer sales. I'm going to be talking to 10,000 people, right? It's just right? This is the second part. Know your cornerstone. Understand how these things have got you where you are, right? Understand the moment, right? It's first going to start with a realization. This was about a year and a half ago. I realized there is definitely more to life. There is definitely more to life than this. What is this? A raw pre-roll? Smoking pre-rolls? What are we doing? Why are we smoking pre-rolls in the 21st century? What the hell is going on? Smoking pre-rolls in the 20th century when there are people younger than how old I was in this video with $1 million in their bank account made by them. Not a trust fund. Not a trust fund. They're self-made. Self-made. I always say there's no such thing as self-made. You had faith in something. You had faith in God. You had faith in your religion. You had faith in something. There's no such thing as self-made. That is my personal belief. But self-made millionaires younger than I was in this picture. And I'm sitting here cross-faded, drinking alcohol, smoking. What the hell? Why am I smoking weed cross-faded? And I probably had $10 in my bank account when I did this. I still have the same shirt, I'm wearing the necklace right now. I'm wearing the same necklace right now. It couldn't have been that long ago. This is proof, right? There's clearly a difference in this person's head than in this person's head, right? And it's through this. It's through these systems. It's through these systems. It's through this process. It's through this. It's literally through this right here. This 3-step process. It's through this. It's through all of this, right? So here, you have the realization. Then, from the realization, you have atonement. This is when you go through the personal development. This is when you go through the personal development. You try something and you fall off. That's what atonement is in my head. You try something, you push so hard, you fall off. Because it's not sustainable. In the mindset that you had then, it was not sustainable. Right? Broke my leg. I was trying to do a million things at once. Boom. Couldn't handle it. Fell off. Boom. Couldn't handle it. Fell off. Atonement. Phase 1. Then personal development. Phase 1. Boom. I finally got a touch of consistency. I was on the soccer team. I was running every day. I was eating good. I was very organized and exponentiating my knowledge at a rapid rate with prodigious efficiency, right? Expanding my vocabulary, right? Taking notes. This is philosophy notes. This is my planner. This is my money Bible. I still have a whole notebook. See, there's no secret. I have a whole notebook with a million. I took notes on every single YouTube video I watched. I watched an educational YouTube video 5 times a day for about 3 months. 3 months, I watched an educational YouTube video every day and took notes on it. Right? This is calculus. This is quantum physics. This is just me expanding the depth of my mind and different concepts and mental models, learning how to write notes. This is how I learned organization, writing notes. It doesn't have to come from somewhere that is directly related to what you're doing. I learned how to organize my life and make these systems by writing notes. See how organized these are? I have a image. I took notes on how to write notes. You have to study systems to make systems. You have to watch a course on how to make a course, right? It's simple things. You have to, you know what I mean? Like, then from there, you had atonement phase 2. See, this was the most lustful time in my life. I'm going to be honest with you. This is the most lustful time in my life. I'm on a cruise ship. We can guess, right? Pretty sure we all understand, right? The most lustful time in my life. And it was not fulfilling at all. It was so unfulfilling, actually, that I reverted back to my lover boy phase. And this is my ex's stuffed animal, right? Couldn't be that long ago. Have the same necklace on right here, right? And this was one of the most influential breakups I've ever went through in my entire life, right? I mean, I'm only 18, but this has to be one of the most influential moments in my life. And maybe I make a video on that later, but it is one of the most influential moments in my life, and it had affected me so much that I went from this back into this personal development phase 2. These same pictures, right? Some of these are the same pictures, some of them are different, right? And from this, right, this is the visual, this is the written, right? This is how you apply it to yourself. And this is kind of the main reason why I'm here, is the momentum mindset map. And this is the mindset that you have to be able to reflect on your life and understand your cornerstone, your why. And it first starts with the realization. You have to understand when your realization was and why it happened, right? This is the awakening, the moment that something clicks. And it's going to be a triggering event, maybe a crisis, a setback, feeling stuck or disconnected, right? External feedback, internal dissatisfaction. See, I felt this internal dissatisfaction immensely. Then from there, you have the reflection. Is this all that there is? What am I doing wrong, right? Confrontation, you're confronting your inner self. You're saying, is this the person that I know I should be? You desire change, you just don't know how to improve, right? You want to change, but you don't want to improve. And that might be a hard concept to grasp, but it's definitely a real thing. You can want to change and not want to improve, because that's what this person was doing here. That's what the atonement phases are. You want to change, right? You want to change, but you don't want to improve. See, from here to here was a change, but it was not an improvement. From here to here was a change, but it was not an improvement. But when you look at this arrow here, it is a change and an improvement. And that's when you get to that's when you're here, right? The reflection, then the atonement. This is a reconciliation with your past, your mistakes, your truth. You hold yourself accountable, owning your past actions, dropping the blame game, right? Whether you're black, white, brown, blue, whether you're rich, poor, homeless, whatever, you need to drop the blame game and realize that you only deserve the life that you give yourself, and there's no excuse for why you're not where you want to be, because the only thing stopping you is your limiting beliefs. So once you drop the limiting beliefs and realize that scared money, right? There's this saying, right? Scared money don't make money. And that is literally the epitome of drop your limiting beliefs. Drop the predisposed decisions, you know what I mean? Like, drop that shit, because it's not going to get you anywhere. Drop the blame game. Begin to see your role in both your failures and your potential, right? Process emotional processing. You have to understand the why you felt that guilt, regret, sadness, grief. You have to, you know what I mean? Like, you have to feel it fully. You have to heal the wounds and traumas from the past and forgive yourself and others, right? Key step before real growth can begin. You have to forgive yourself and others. And you have to surrender to your old identities. You have to surrender those things. You have to let them out. Then comes the first personal development stage. This is when you start foundational habits, daily routines, journaling, fitness, goal setting, reflection, right? Habits, mindset, and lifestyle. This is when you start rebuilding these things, because you see, you're here, you're processing, your accountability, you're doing all of these things. And this, see, without this right here, this looks like personal development, right? You're owning your actions, you're bettering yourself inside, and it's supposed to bleed out into your life, but you don't understand it yet. You have to fall off to understand the why you started in the first place, or else you're just going to keep going to that atonement realization cycle. And that's what happened. See, there's a million things before this realization, and it's just you going back and forth, going in a circle between these two things: atonement, realization, atonement, realization, atonement, realization. And once you start this phase, you start understanding that it's discipline over motivation. Just learn to show up consistently. You realize that your environment inputs a shift. Your environment and inputs shift, right? You start thinking more of an input base, right? You start reading books. You start talking to more people that you want to be like. You start implementing routines. You start skill and character building, right? Focus on time management, all of this stuff. I started building skills here, right? I started learning new skills every day. I started learning something new. From that moment, my life was never the same. See, focus on time management, financial literacy, communication, developing confidence through action. Identity becomes more aligned with my future self. These are the things I was learning on YouTube and learning just period. These are the things I was learning. Then the growth mindset and vision, establishing clear values, purpose, and long-term goals. I started building those things. I had a tiny green notebook. It's right here. So I don't know where the tiny green notebook is, but just know I had a tiny green notebook, and it is literally where I started establishing clear values, purpose, long-term goals. And I started realizing that learning to fail forward and seeing challenges as opportunities is the only way to think. I started building momentum, early wins, internal pride, right? Being proud of myself on the inside. Then, boom, you did all of those things. You're here, right? And it wasn't sustainable because you didn't understand why you were doing it. I didn't understand why I was doing it. I might have still been doing it because I'm trying to get back at my older self and kill that person. I wanted to kill this version of myself and be a new version of my better self, right? But I didn't understand why I was doing it. So it just like history repeats itself if you don't understand how it worked. That's why they teach history classes, so history doesn't repeat itself. But, right, here, I fall back into possibly even, maybe not worse, but just a different problem, right? And there's always going to be that cycle, but as long as you understand why it's happening, then you understand the lessons as it's happening, and you have early action, and you have early warning signs of the things that you need to do, right? See, this is where the ego is humbled again, even after progress, confronting new shadows. Success reveals new blind spots, arrogance, attachment, and burnout. I burned out, right? You may relapse into old patterns or sabotage new opportunities because of my ego, right? I thought I was too good. I thought I was perfect, right? Deepening humility. See, recognizing that development is a lifelong journey and not a destination. See, the goal is the process. The goal isn't the things that you get on the process. You know what I mean? You have to revisit earlier realizations and deeper with maturity. With deeper maturity. You have to understand these things from a hindsight perspective. You have to have this atonement, this second atonement phase. Maybe you went through this whole cycle 4 or 5 times. Maybe you're 40 years old and you went through this cycle 4 or 5 times and you finally get it. It finally clicked. It's different for everybody. See, this journey is different for everybody, but the blueprint does not change. See, this personal development phase 2 and beyond is the evolution. See, you're intentional with what you do. You're driven by values. You're led by purpose, right? Your actions are aligned. You're operating from purpose instead of pain. That's why I'm here. My purpose is to help other people stop wasting time in their life, because that is what's in life. You have to find what you're good at. You have to find your value, right? My value is the things I gained from going through the pain. And I started building and creating and leading with integrity, right? I'm honest with myself. Do you know how hard it is to put these pictures on the internet? These pictures on the internet. These aren't that old. I still live in my father's house, and these are pictures I'm putting on the internet, right? And I'm okay with that because I am going through a stage of building and creating and leading with integrity. I'm honest with myself and everyone else. Then once you go through this, that's when mentorship and contribution emerges as a natural byproduct. See, I start doing better for myself and people ask, how did you get there? Right? A lot of people ask me, how did you reach that level? And it's through those things that create an opportunity for the mentorship. And that's why I'm doing this here. That's why I'm doing this here. Because of those things. Those things have led me to doing that naturally by putting myself in that position and learning the systems the hard way over 2.5 years. I can save you 2.5 years by telling you the shortcut to how I got here. If you DM me momentum, right? Conscious renewal. You revisit realizations, atonement, and evolution repeatedly, right? That's exactly what I'm doing right now. That's exactly what I'm doing. I made this right now, right? Maybe I add a new arrow when I feel like I'm going through a new atonement phase, when I feel like I'm going through another phase of falling off, you know? It just keeps my progress in a timeline and allows me to reflect. See, maybe I add another arrow here and it goes to another atonement phase, or a phase where I felt like I'm not doing as good. See, but here, right? Think about it. Between atonement phase and atonement phase 2, phase 1 and phase 2 of atonement, this personal development had leaked some things in. See, these are the same shorts, that's the same body, and this is a vacation that I took after it that led me into this bad place. See, maybe it's the people you're around, right? And you need to think about that. Maybe it's the positions that you put yourself in with emotional attachments, and you need to think about that. But as long as your atonement is as long as your personal development keeps the things that you learn from your atonement and you reflect on those things are going to bleed in, right? See, my fitness was terrible here. Good fitness. Good systems. See, that bled here. I have good fitness, at least, right? I had a good physique, even if all else failed. Then here, right? Let's say from here to the next atonement phase, I have the physique and I have the organization. I have that already. It's going to bleed into the next atonement phase, but I'm going to have something else that I need to grow and fix. See, this isn't a linear process. See, this is a cycle. Maybe the arrow goes back here and I get a little big, right? Which I don't see myself doing, because the systems I've set in place and the systems they work. The systems work. The systems got me from being this heartbroken, fat, chubby guy, and being this lustful man that is far from God, and being this guy who lives YOLO. I wasn't very far off from this guy. Sorry, but I don't know you. You're fat as fuck. And I wasn't very far off, right? Like I wasn't very far off between these things, and I've taken those things to get me here. And it's an enormous realization and an enormous reflection. And going through those things, after you go through this reflection, you have to put it in front of the right people. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm reaching out to the world and I'm saying, look at me. This is what I went through. And these are the lessons that you can learn from what I went through. And if that is not valuable to you, then there is something fundamentally wrong with your priorities in life. Because every opportunity you get, you should be taking a chance and giving yourself the opportunity to learn from people who have made the mistakes already. Right? And I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, as you could see through this whole process, and I'm putting it in front of the right people. See, what you do, you go on YouTube, you post long form content, you split it up, you post it on Reels, right? You post the Reels. Then from the Reels, you send people to YouTube to watch your long form content. Then you send them back to Instagram to DM you. Then you send them back to YouTube, link in the bio. This is the reason why people buy courses. See, right now I'm doing it for free. It's not always going to be free, because it's going to get to a point where I have so much volume I can't help everybody for free. I'm going to have so much responsibility and so much rapport built that it's not going to be free anymore. My time is going to be more valuable. See, right now I'm still learning. My time isn't valuable enough. My time isn't worth money yet. I'm a millionaire. I'm just not getting paid yet, right? I'm not allowing myself to get paid yet. I don't want the $500 a month contracts. I don't want the $250 conference calls. I don't want that. I want to grow to the point that people beg me to pay me, where people would rather pay me $150,000 for a year of training and just me and them, right? Or $150,000 for the month just to fly out, live with them, and fix their whole entire life. See, somebody would do that, right? Somebody would do that. Somebody would pay $100,000 to have me come out if I am world class. And right now I am not world class, so I'm not going to take money from anybody. But that is what I'm building. Then from here, you need to direct. You need to acquire a precise target. You need to have input-based goals. You need to have product-focused momentum. See, my precise target. This is my precise target. You need to understand exactly where you want to go. Exactly where you want to go. You need to know exactly where you want to go. You need to know exactly where you want to go. You need to know exactly where you want to go. You need to know exactly where you want to go. I've said it enough times. You need to know exactly where you want to go, or else you will end up in a place where you don't know where you're at, and you're not going to know what to do. These are the things. Every time I close my eyes, I see these things. This watch. Cartier, Santos de Cartier, with an engraving on the back for Kenneth, my grandfather, who passed away in 2001. Rest in peace to him. I want an engraving because nobody in my entire family, right, my immediate family, has had the money to buy nice things. I'm gonna be honest. None of them have ever owned a foreign car. None of them have ever owned a designer watch. None of them have ever owned a house like this. None of them. None of them have ever owned a house with more than one garage. None of them have ever owned a house with glass double doors and arches and clay roofing and a courtyard, right? None of them have ever owned that. And some of these things I have never experienced. And I understand that I have to experience these things to know that I want them, right? And I'm going to put myself in a position to see if these are the things I truly want. But this is what drives me, right? This is my precise destination. This is my precise target. I want this brown car. I want this brown Porsche GT3 RS with the wing, the front suspension package, the race package, the race tech seats, the 8-way adjustable seats, the fire extinguisher in the back, the dash cam on the front and back, the smoky headlights, the magnesium forged glossy black wheels, the front splitter, the carbon fiber mirror. I want that. The exact thing. I know exactly what I want. I want this Spanish style house with a courtyard and a garage, multiple garages that I can support my family here, right? I could support my family. My mother could have a guest house, right? I could retire her. She could have a guest house. I could have guest rooms. Everybody has a place to stay. If anybody needs anything, they know they can come to Jordan's house, and under reason, he'll give them exactly what they need, right? Then input-based goals. Input-based goals. Input-based goals. This is the momentum masterclass. This is what I was talking about up here. Input-based goals. This is the input, and the goal is that input. My goal is to be able to say that I did everything I needed to do that day. That's my goal. That's my input-based goal. I gauge myself off of the input that I put in. Input-based goals. And along with that, right? Input-based goals and precise target. I have my precise target right here. My input-based goals. These things go hand in hand. Hand in hand. Hand in hand. Hand in hand. Product-focused momentum. I'm creating a product here. I'm branding. I'm creating a product here. This is my product-focused momentum. This will be digitized very soon, and it will be an easily shareable product for those who deserve it, right? That's why I say you have to send me a DM saying momentum, because I have to see if you are really about it and not just, oh, well, I think I'll press that button. I'll take it and never use it. You need to DM me momentum and explain to me why you deserve to better yourself. Why you deserve to take 2.5 years of my experiences and put them into easy system, right? Product-based momentum, product-focused momentum. I'm creating digital assets. See, this is the rough draft in my Notion board. This is the rough draft that I've created, right? I'm creating products. This right here, this is a giant product. This is a giant product, right? So this is a personal asset, a business asset, digital asset. This is just a big asset. This YouTube video itself is a digital asset of product-focused momentum. I'm focusing on the products. This is personal branding. This is personal branding. You see all of these things here. Now when you see a Porsche, you remember you saw this right next to it. You see this next to it. You see my notebook. You see the inside of my notebook. You see a sneak peek of what I write down. Boom, you see all of this stuff, right? Then comes time to disperse it. And that's what I'm doing right here. Good product quality. When I digitize this, right, it will be of good quality. I'm not going to release something to the public that is of bad quality. See, this product right here, this is a product. I would say that this is good quality. I would say that this is good quality, honestly. I would say that this is good quality. Good quality products. Give value, right? Give value. Relationship with customer at top of mind. I'm building a relationship with y'all by being vulnerable and explaining how I got here. That's exactly what's going on. That's relationship and consumer at top of mind. Y'all are the consumer. Y'all are consuming this content, and y'all are at the top of my mind, right? 90% of y'all didn't make it this far in the video. Actually, 99% of y'all didn't make it this far in the video. But that's how it works. You have to weed out the people that aren't willing to put in an hour to learn from the mistakes of others and learn the process of where they need to be. And with this comes goodwill and word of mouth. And you have to make sure that you stay congruent within all endeavors that you do. You have to make sure that between here and here, you are the same person. That is a very important thing. And every single thing that I touched on today, there is a deeper level to it. There's a why to the why, right? There's a why to the why I say the things that I say. There's a why that I tell you why you need to know the why, right? There's always a deeper level. And with that comes one-on-one, the one-on-one explanation. And in the description below, there's a link to talk to me one-on-one if you want to learn more. It's free. You can talk to me. It's an accountability one-on-one. It's called accountability one-on-one. And you can talk to me, right? And ask me any questions that you have about this, right? Ask me any questions that you have about this. If you are interested, there's a link in the description with my Instagram that will show you the process. You could scroll to my first video and see that it was pretty shitty, right? Some of the first YouTube videos on this account, you could scroll down, they were pretty shitty. And I feel like I'm investing in value. You have to invest in value. And that's enough talking for today. This video has gone on way, way long, but it has so much value that I'm not even mad. And this is exactly what we're doing. This is exactly what I'm doing. How am I going to go from working odd jobs to buying a $400,000 Porsche at 20 years old? In 2 years. I'm 18 right now. Actually, I'm turning 19 this year. So that is about a year and a half that I have to make roughly $2 million. Because I don't want to just buy the Porsche. I want to afford the car. If I can't buy it 4 times, 5 times cash, I don't want it. The car is the goal. But the position in life is the motivation. And I just want to let y'all know that you can achieve the goals. I have one action item for you guys. Take a piece of paper out and write down, why do I deserve the dreams that I crave so bad every day? And make a list of why you deserve those things. And screenshot it and DM me a picture of why you feel like you deserve those things. Just DM me a screenshot. First DM me momentum or DM me I deserve it. DM me I deserve it. DM me I deserve it and send the screenshot, and we could talk about how we can get to our goals together. Because as young men, we need to stick together, because nobody makes it to the top on their own. But that's the video today, and I spent so much time making this last night, and I hope y'all receive it well. I know for a fact that this video probably isn't going to get over 10 views, and that's okay. I'm completely understanding that I put in all of this time and effort for nobody but myself. Because even if I'm the only one that watched this video, this is worth it 1,000,000 times for me just to understand my own story and have a blueprint for how you can understand your story. Because that is the first step to this process right here. The first step is understanding your struggles, turning that into understanding your character development, analyzing the key moments that you had that taught you the lessons that qualify you, right? And understanding the key motives. Because like I said up here, this precise target, right? Down there, I talked about precise target in terms of a position in life, but up here, I interpreted it as a precise target of who you want to help. Because you cannot develop yourself without developing other people. Because to develop yourself, you have to learn from other people. And to learn from other people, you need to learn from people that understand the fundamental truth that you're never done learning and you can learn from anybody. So if you're learning from somebody else, they're going to learn from you. So it's a fundamental truth that you cannot make it to a far point in life in this day and age without providing content and building a personal brand. It is step one to whatever you do. And that's what I'm doing. This is step one. This is step one. This is step one. Making this content is step one. Making this content is literally step one. Y'all have a good one. This video has gone on really long. I have so much stuff I need to do. Peace.